on. Breaking news. Breaking news. What's going on, guys? What's up? What is going on? Hit that like button. Woo! We got news to talk about. I was originally this live stream was going to be about something else, totally non-jet ski related, and I'm like, we can't wait to talk about this stuff. Let's get it going. Hope everybody's having a nice midday. It's Wednesday. Whoop, whoop. All right. So the craziest thing is, so if you want to see this video, which the thumbnail is, it's on my Instagram, _Beowulf. The person who sent me the link is now deleted. So I luckily filmed it on my phone when somebody somebody sent me the link on my iPhone. You can video record it. So yeah, it's totally crazy. What's going on? Beta's first to the club, man. Welcome. High's second. And then Patrick goes, "What's good? I'm doing really good." Michael said, "Hey, Beowulf, what's going on, brother?" Andrew said, "What's up? What's going on, Michael?" Bissell, what's up? What's going on, guys? Hope everybody's doing good. I'm trying to read the comments. Yeah, so this video, somebody sends me this link, and here, you guys seen the last live stream, and I'm just telling you guys, well, if you even watched the video, I just posted this really awesome upload today, a couple of hours ago. So that's why I was like, should I give a double taste of Beowulf today? We give a freaking video and a live stream. But I'm like, hey, let's do it both. Go big or go home. Oh, man. So, yeah, so the earlier video, you see these subscribers I like. It's crazy. Lake Geneva's huge. Ran into them. That's from a couple of weeks ago. I think it's actually 3 weeks ago that was filmed. And somebody asked, why am I sporting the RXP-X? Because, man, this is the I Am Beowulf merch. It's on IamBeowulf.com, so check it out. Pick yourself up a hat. What do you think? I'm not going to come out? I'm not gonna. If I came out wearing one of my GP 1800R hats, that would just be like, okay. I'm at least coming out and being like, hey. So yeah. So anyways, I'm just trying to read the comments. Just go to this. I'm feeling good. So. Yeah, so you watch that video, and there's a whole nother second part because the person who was on the 2020, the single rider, his ski literally sinks, and it's like a whole it just lapped, or it's the second part. And man, I'm telling you, if you haven't checked that video out, make sure you check it out after the live stream. Awesome. It's always cool running into subscribers and stuff like that. So I was real excited, and but man, you can tell them as Sea-Doo owners, they're real frustrated, and you feel bad for them. But I want to basically get at this. So just for nobody's thinking I'm out hating on Sea-Doo. I like to promote products that I think are reliable and good. If a company contacted me and wanted me to promote them or sponsor me, whatnot, I would only do stuff I believe in. So to me, partly the reason why I sold my Sea-Doo is not because I knew already there was a new RXP-X coming out. And obviously I had the money. I could go buy any ski, new or used, anything. I got the money. I could go purchase whatever I want. So it's not that I can't afford it. Thinking that somebody thinks, I saw one comment, somebody thought that's why I'm hating, which I think is kind of crazy. But yeah, I just sold a Sea-Doo is because seeing how many people, I mean, literally, I'm getting stuff daily, people upset and they can't ride. And that's why I sold a Sea-Doo, because I was done. Even that I wasn't partnered with Sea-Doo, I felt that I was still promoting them, because people all the time would ask, what should I get? The RXP-X, RXT-X, or GP, or this and that. And I'm like, I was just done doing RXP-X videos when I'm seeing so many people having problems with Sea-Doos, and I don't want to be where somebody goes, hey, man, I seen your recent videos, and I got a Sea-Doo, and man, it was like the biggest mistake I purchased. And, I mean, that's just realistically, I mean, it's just, look at these on here. Look at the haters on. Look at them. The haters on. Man, I know. Just remember, I'm like the CIA. Can find out anything. No joke. So anyways, you know, when you're looking at somebody like the brand like Sea-Doo, bunch of people go off and say that that was because of fuel and it didn't work. And I just have to laugh that if it was because of fuel related, why is the whole post taken down with it? I mean, if I saw a clip and it was something new, like the new GP, knew this, knew that, like something went wrong, I would 100% show you guys with it. And when I see this, I'm just doing stuff and somebody goes, oh, check this out. I'm like, really? That's like, man, it just, I have to just kind of laugh. Is if it's not even out to the public yet and it already has an issue, it just proves the point of where I'm getting at with what is going on with Sea-Doo. I mean, I just think it's hilarious that you have something where it comes out and it's not even out yet and it has an issue. And there was somebody last night that sent me some link on Facebook, something about the new Superjet oil pressure, whatever. It's some write-up. I would never go off of write-ups to be like, oh man, there's something going on. Like, for example, when you look at the SXR 1500, if you go on any of these groups, they're all just, they won't shut up about the fuel pump. But if you read the shop manual, it says it needs to be replaced and the filter like all the time. So obviously it's partly why they're going bad. People aren't doing the maintenance. I mean, that's what the craziest thing is. I pick up this old police car, right? This is gonna be the backup tow vehicle, right? The thing has like 181,000 miles. That is like crazy. It's just nuts. You get in it and it's still going. It's kind of hilarious that, you know, but again, it all comes down to is like when you look at like maintenance, because I had to kind of laugh when I had the Hellcat. The Hellcat was at the end of the ownership of owning it, was just burning oil like no other. Ugh. That I wouldn't say there and say, like, after having one experience with that, I would never go get one of those again. That's what the whole live stream tonight was going to be about, is comparing. Like, I've been seeing all this stuff because they got the big battle right now is it got the PS5 and the Xbox One X or whatever it's called now. It's whatever. And I've had Xbox since day one. And I've had so many Xbox issues that where I'm like, why would I spend my money and buy another Xbox when I own both the systems? And it's kind of, I guess the way you kind of would example showing it is you got like PlayStation would be Yamaha, Sea-Doo is Xbox. One has like no issues and the other one has like, I had the black screen at death. Here I had even had the system for 2 years. Sent it a month and a half later, Xbox finally sends it back and send me a new one. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why would I spend the money? I don't care what's going on, because it's, when you look at all that stuff, is it really worth it? What could go on with purchasing stuff like that? And especially everything with the pandemic and stuff. I just think like stuff like that is, you never want to buy, majority of the time, I wouldn't say this all the time, but the majority of the time, you never want to buy something right when it comes out. It's like the new GoPro they just announced too. I got it a year ago. And then they already got a new one out that's even better. But again, do they fix the whole speaker issue? Because when you watch the video, as soon as you get a splash of water on that thing, the sound's just like over on the GoPro. Let's check out some of these comments. You guys see them, all those paid Sea-Doo reps. It's funny though, like at least when I do a video, I don't got somebody standing over helping me, telling me what to say. Dude, I'm on my own, man. Nobody telling me what to do. Whoop whoop. Oh man. See, I'm looking at Bates said, who is the disliker? It looks like the Watercraft Journal timed in. It's kind of sad. Like, I don't sit there and watch anything that guy has to do. I just, literally, I hear him turn on, I fall asleep. Like, probably I put it on. If I couldn't sleep one night, I put it on, I fall right to sleep. So Thomas asked, this is a good question. So Thomas asked, how often should I change the carbon steel to stay reliable? Well, that's the crazy thing. I seen the live stream that Sea-Doo did, and they're claiming they re-engineered the carbon seal, which, like, it's so funny that literally you watch my last video that came out today. These people sit there and like Lake Geneva is like, really, you got to be well off to have a home there, right? A lot of people, it's just like a ride and drive. People have their boats there. These people come from Illinois, come to spend the weekend there. Their ski was already sinking before they got there. They had a 2019 RXP-X 300. He just got the 2020 RXP-X back, where again, with a supercharger exploding, which I can show you on my phone. People send me all those photos. I'm not looking online for that. It's everybody comes and tells me everything. And then wait till you see the second part. And I joke around about that Jet Life Miami post where they got a guy in a RXP-X 300 sinking, and this is how Sea-Doo owners take selfies. And literally, I stopped it right when that is, because literally 10 minutes later, this person's going underwater. Brand new skis. You got the one ski has had all these issues, another ski having a bunch of issues. And then we're going to try to sit there, and a bunch of people are going to do videos of saying, oh, Sea-Doo's so great. It's such a dishonest thing. I mean, it's just like, it's just silly. If the Yamaha, every time I go ride this Yamaha, I'm pushing it. I'm not sitting there, I don't ride around just like I'm half asleep and stuff like that. And that's why I just had to laugh. But if you haven't seen the video, I'll play it on my phone out here. But definitely, because not everybody has Instagram. The same as like not everybody goes on Facebook. Facebook's like, that stuff, no offense. Facebook is like my grandma. My grandma's on there, and she's like almost 90 years old. I go on Facebook to sell stuff. That's about it. I don't go on Facebook I can't stand Facebook. Let me find the post. Where is it at? All right. Well, look at this. So you can tell it's there. There's the new yellow one. There's the purple one. Look at it. Oh, yeah. They're being towed before it's even sold. If you see something like this and you go, yeah, I would put a deposit on that, go ahead. Because seriously, I would never, if I saw that, I would never buy it. It's like when they had the new Corvette come out, there was like the rear engine one. There were just stuff all over the internet. They're like, they were stuck at a gas station outside the GM plant. Then they had to have some GM specially tow truck come towed away, and they're like covered up trying to hide it. And you look at that and go like, probably figured out the bugs with that, but we're talking cars to jet skis. I mean, it's kind of like, it's not even a comparison with doing that. But I mean, I don't know. I just, from my experience owning FCA vehicles, I think the chance of me buying another FCA vehicle in the future will be not happening. But definitely it'll be a cool video coming out. Basically, the whole goal with the Crown Vic was a vehicle, like hauling the dogs around, and then just like this backup like tow vehicle. Wouldn't be my primary vehicle. But the best thing to show too is like on a budget, because like when somebody buys a jet ski, not everybody's owning trucks. Most of them is not owning SUVs. And the crazy thing is you put the tow hitch, you can tow like 4,000 pounds. I mean, it's like crazy. That's a lot. And I've seen people where they like lift them, they put like truck tires on it, you can put them right on the steelies, and it's like, my gosh, I mean, that vehicle is just like, I'm pretty excited about a $2,000 vehicle. Like the craziest thing. The craziest thing. That's what's crazy. This car, let me get it where $2,000, right? And then you can't really see it because it's behind the GP, but then the SXR I got used, and it's crazy the price difference between this like stand up to an actual vehicle you could drive around the road. I just think it's so funny. I see it. But no, with the carbon seal, basically, let me get to what somebody was asking. I couldn't tell you what you should do, because I've seen posts where people got new ones and they've done it like 6-7 times and they only have 30 hours. The crazy thing is, the whole time owning both Sea-Doos, all three of them, I was like shocked that the carbon seal never went out. But I was like, but if you look at every time I'd ride it from the last 2 years, I wouldn't ride it for less than like 40 minutes, not even that. I mean, never would run them out of the water, never flushed it, because what's the point of doing that? It's closed loop cooling. What are you flushing out? Just the intercooler and the exhaust. And I stopped riding the ocean because with all these shark sightings and stuff, it wouldn't have been it. I look back at some of my old videos, I'm like, what was I thinking riding alone in the ocean like that? And like, there's like crazy stuff that I ran into, and I'm thinking, what was I doing out there? There was like tons of videos where I'm just like going like a couple miles off the coast and being like, hey, yeah, time to go exploring. Like, it's crazy, because when I had Nielsen Enterprises, shout out to them, they fixed SXR 1500 with the bent steering cable. And they told me they had a customer had a fish pro and went just fishing in Lake Michigan. Person never made it back. So seriously, now that's a lake. It's a huge lake. It's like the ocean, but realistically, you got to be really safe out there when you're riding by yourself. I mean, all it takes is one wave. That's why I always wear the helmet. It takes one wave. You don't have to be going fast, and you hit hard, and you could be in trouble. That Parrot said, everybody do it. See, don't. Oh, man. Yeah, those are the brand new. Somebody asked, is that a 2020? No, those are the brand new stuff. You can tell because it's a purple ski, and it looks like, to me, from there, I may be totally wrong, but when I'm looking at the video, I mean, it looks like the RXP-X. I mean, the problem is now they look like so close that you couldn't tell the difference. It just looks like the seat. And again, like, who really cares? I mean, it's not my problem. It's not like I'm spending my money. If I had a deposit on one of those right now, I would call up the dealer and say, man, you can refund me my money, please, as soon as possible. I feel bad for any of these people with Sea-Doos, man. At least I'm not, my hands are washed. That is issues. Parrot said, they need to relabel the Sea-Doo name. Sea-Don't. But at least the good thing in the video, we don't have a video of one of them sinking just yet. But like I said, if BRP wants to make claims that this carbon seal is fixed, then for every one it sinks because of the carbon seal, the new ones, 2020 or 2021s, they will have to give that county the money of the exact worth of that ski new to help fix everything of damage to the water, if you don't have it, coolant being leaked in there and having oil leaked in there, and wrecking the environment. I mean, that's what will have to be done if they want to make the claims of that. I mean, that's just my opinion. I'm not telling them what to do, but I'm just saying if you want to make a claim like that, and it's just sad because you see this environment like the Sea-Doo that sinks, and then it'll be the next upload. Well, technically, yeah, we can have it up tomorrow. And but it's this Lake Geneva's former glacier from the Ice Age, crystal clear water, and you got this thing sinking around. And if you look at the person riding it too, man, it had to be really scary. Young gentleman. They're probably the only people excited. Well, besides the people who love Sea-Doo, the other people who are most excited is the people who work on Sea-Doos because they're like, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. You know, it's like a steady line. It's funny. Go to any dealer, and you roll up and go look in the parking lot of what's all there, like what's being worked on. You rarely see a Kawasaki. You rarely see Yamahas, and the biggest thing you'll see in there being worked on is Sea-Doos. And you talk to any person that works on them will tell you, like, they're like, yeah, man, this brand's like, but they're like, I like it because it gives me money to pay me to keep working. Yeah, see, we got I can't pronounce the name. Santan. I'm not going to try to pronounce this. Too much technology for a small PWC. Keep it simple like Yamaha. It will last forever. Yamaha forever. Somebody says supposedly the new one comes with a 2-year warranty instead of a 1 year. Well, you got to think that. Okay, so he has the warranty. Now, everywhere, like I had somebody, a subscriber in New Jersey, bought a brand new, I think it was an RXP-X 2020. The engine went bone stock, right? Sea-Doo doesn't have engines to send him, so his whole season is squashed. So where's the, you know, even has the warranty, it's still not riding. So then, you know, his warranty's up, and he says, oh, I can't wait to sell this till I buy a Yamaha. And stuff like that is like sad to see, man. And if you think like, here's this ski that's not even out yet, and it's already being towed in. And I mean, just imagine what if the dealer is backed up. I mean, even when I was talking to the owner of Nielsen's, and he can answer this with any dealer, they sold the most PWCs this past year. So that means there's going to be more people riding. There's going to probably be more people buying them for the 2021. So it means all that the reality check is going to be more shots backed up. That's why more of the reasons I've been thinking about opening up like a performance repair shop with jet skis because of my experience being a former professional race car driver. And I had a really cool shop. I was a main distributor for like Puma Motorsports. That was like all the whole racing line of Puma. It was like Borla exhaust. To get set up being a warehouse distributor like that, we had to do like $100,000 order just with Borla exhaust alone. That's one brand. We had so much stuff we were selling, right? And I was a member at the Autobahn Country Club, and let's see who's driving by. And so basically, it was a really cool business with doing a lot of stuff like KW suspensions. When I had my C6 Z06, I was the first person in the United States to be testing and using those suspension on the track. And people all the time would have like race cars that were like not street legal. And I had like Hoosier R1s, I think they were. They're like this, like technically DOT road racing tire, but it is like a slick. And I would drive to Joliet like an hour on these tires and had tons of negative camber for having more grip. Like the setup on suspension wise with that was specifically being on the track. And then the thing was like literally this far off the ground, maybe even more. Like I had if I ever drove the Corvette, I would have to pre-drive a route to know that it could like clear going there because it's that low. But I would be smoking people full out like Porsche Cup cars and stuff like that. It was unbelievable. There was one where there was a person I actually professionally raced against too that was a member, and he had a Ferrari Enzo. Wow, when you're on the track racing against somebody like that with a Ferrari Enzo, I mean, the Ferrari Enzo was in like a whole nother level of cars. You don't realize till you see it on the track. I'll have to find it because I somewhere have all these old clips, and I probably should share it on the channel with some of this old stuff. The problem is it's all from when GoPro first came out. So it's all standard definition. That was like the other crazy thing. So when I had GoPro first came out, right? So this is when they had the battery standard definition. I did an order of like literally, I think it was like $80,000 worth of cameras. And we roll up to this go-kart show. My brother had to been like 7, maybe even, man, probably 7, 8 years old. And the kid himself sold like $8,000 worth of cameras. And it was like, we were just having crate after crate after crate. And it was like unbelievable. And then now GoPro, you know, they're all in like Walmart, Best Buy, everywhere. Everybody's selling them now. But like I was in there with ground level when GoPro first came out. And yeah, it's crazy. Just I wish all that stuff was going on was when technology is where it is at now. But yeah, no. So that's a repair shop is on the list of things to be possibly doing. Yeah, here's Caleb. Here we go. Laugh out loud. The Watercraft Journal is here. In here, I trust Babel more than this paid guys. Yeah, anybody that says that like a company is their paid sponsor, they don't believe what they have to say. The Barap said that Watercraft Journal. This isn't what I'm saying. I'm just reading the comments. Here, Paris says if you want to have a fireworks show on the lake, buy a new supercharged CDU and watch the supercharged engine sparks fly after a blow up. Yeah, it's crazy. Like the superchargers are literally blowing up. And that's where you watched my last video. This kid's like, yeah, I just got it back. He just literally got it back. He said the supercharger exploded, which I've seen countless photos of that. And like I said in the video, is the problem is not enough people can't get their voice heard or they're too scared. I'm not scared. Trust me. I just think it's just like, man, the truth hurts. You guys are happy about it. The truth hurts. JKC, your things hidden what you said because it is kind of inappropriate. I cannot have that kind of stuff being spoken about. Sorry about that. Dan said, pull back the seat and say how many drugs and leftover evidence you find. It is kind of crazy. If I was Border Patrol, definitely they'd be on the radar. But like I said, I'm going to be contacting people, maybe with the EPA and stuff, with the U.S. government about how I'm real concerned about this is an ongoing issue with the carbon seals going and sinking CDUs. And maybe they're just not aware of that, and they should know about something being imported into the country of what it's doing and hurting the environment. Just saying. Someone on check into it. I know, for example, if you had diesel truck, you start posting and they're checking that stuff, EPA checking about you pulling emission stuff on it, they'll come after you. Like you own a truck and you do something like that, they'll come take it away and crush it. Definitely, I think they'll be interesting when something like this is coming from another country endangering the environment. But just me, I care about the environment. I saw photos from the fires on the West Coast. I mean, you see all these animals just fleeing. I saw this one photo, and it's like donkeys and horses just running for their lives, and you see deers just where they can't breathe, and some stuff I have a like strong tolerance to see like extreme stuff, and there's some stuff when it comes to animals, man. I get worked up about that. I get a little upset. They donated a super chat $1. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate it. Bait asked, where did his comments go? I blocked him. I don't go comment on his stuff. I'm not going to have him come in here trying to get desperate for people seeing him. So I'm nice with it. I never say him, and I keep it like professional with that. But if you're going to come on here, man, I'm just going to put you on blast, brother. Seriously. Let's not even talk about it. Somebody did share me. If he's still watching, man, I did see your live stream. Look, it's high. It's 80 degrees outside, right? Look at this. I'm gonna show it. Clean, dry shirt, right? It's 80, super humid, clean, dry shirt. No, I'm not sweating, man. I'm not covered in sweat. I'm nice and dry. Nice and dry. I don't come out and be like, oh man, I just ran a marathon. Whoop, whoop. Well, you can know who the haters are coming. I always tell you, I knew this, and I have to keep some stuff family wise of knowing we're in the loop of what's going on with things. So I'm just saying, don't play with fire. Let's see. Just scrolling through the comments, and there's a lot to be. Mo Person, I love your video. Good, honest truth. I mean, I just try to be truth about this. I mean, literally, I mean, to me, is that what he's on? I feel like something nipping my feet. I got sandals on. I don't think I got human. I got who knows what, mosquito or something. But like, to be honest, like I'd rather, like, I could go buy any of these skis and test ride them, and I don't think that's what the whole channel is about. Is like, to me, it's like I like to move into one ski and move into the next one. And if the manufacturers don't want to do work with me, I could care less. Because again, what the reality is I like to be honest about selling stuff. I don't have somebody telling me a script saying, well, say this, say that, we'll talk for you. Because I've never been like that as a person. I just think that's not who I am as a person. I'm not fake. I'm not, maybe the best term is they use in the music industry, sell out. It's like you look at like stuff like that, like certain music I grew up with, and now it's like, man, where'd they all go? Mopar says I got a Yamaha GP 1800R because of you. Well, that's the craziest thing, and this is the dead honest truth. What Sea-Doo doesn't realize, if I got a commission $1,000 for every ski that somebody bought because of watching my videos, I probably would have like what I have, $350,000, pretty close. And let's talk about Yamaha and stuff like that. No, that's just facts. I'm somebody like, I actually go out and buy the ski and don't get something handed to me. I mean, you know, it's like the best way is describing that stuff is like somebody who rides a horse and buggy and then tries to tell you to go buy a gasoline car. It is literally the best comparison. That's, I think, the crazy thing. So when you look at, like, let's talk American brands, off subject. Like, that's the crazy thing. As I don't really think Ford is like that great of a brand, but the Crown Vic, I totally 100% trust in that, because it's like anything that's like built for like government use. I mean, it has to be, it's their name on the line, because they have a bunch of like mess ups, and they know like they don't want to be going with somebody else. I had to find my bug spray because literally something is like, there it is. Something is nipping my feet like crazy. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry. I got to set up my office. do a live stream in there one night. That'd be kind of nice. Oh man, I feel so much better. Oh yeah, they talk about something else. Totally, this is the coolest thing. So Jet Trim just sent me a new seat cover. So you can actually see it right now. I'm trying to get this all to dry because I wasn't going to do it today, but I wrote yesterday and I want to make sure this is all dry. So this is the old seat cover, right? And my GP $1,800 for sale, just for you guys to know. And this is the new back seat cover. Check that out, man. And the craziest thing, this yellow, look at that. Matches the graphics. Oh yeah. So this is the black carbon fiber. So that I told them when they were redoing one for me, I said, surprise me. So I didn't even know. I told them what colors I wanted. I said, you guys do it. Surprise me. So it has the yellow, blue stitching with the black carbon fiber, which then matches. Let's see. You guys can't even see it. Carbon fiber ankle mats. It has blue stitching, and then I'll put that back to where it was. And I'll show you guys the main piece. Oh, man, this is just on fire. So again, you have the blue, yellow stitching, the black carbon fiber. This is the real grippy material I tell everybody about. This is like a must. You ride hard, you need this kind of stuff. Really nice. Definitely never want to have this material like on the back where a passenger would sit, because if it was a girl in a bikini, man, their lower bottom would not like that material. But yeah, that's a new seat cover. Oh, I'm just so happy. So I'm hoping to get it installed tomorrow. I think I'm going to do it. And I got like new handlebars for the SXR. I don't know where I put those. And so it's the crazy thing. So you got that. All these hurricanes happening. It's like unbelievable. And it's only a couple of days of raining, so it's kind of my time to get the ball rolling, get some of these things installed that need to be done. Yeah, anybody who repairs them, they know if like the IBR goes and stuff like that. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to remove it. It needs to be working to start get access to pump and stuff. I mean, people just don't know about that stuff. And if you've never worked on it, you wouldn't know that. Oh, I just have to think this is pretty funny. The copycats can't be original. Can't be original. Oh man, this is too funny. Yeah, Adrian said, well, this is somewhat a good point, I guess. He says, I don't buy supercharged watercraft because they use too much gas and it's not worth it, in my opinion. That's what he says. I mean, it's all to different people. It matters if you're planning to ride a lot, like ride a lot. I don't care what brand it is. Like you're just planning to be just riding constantly. Don't get a supercharged one. That's my opinion. To me, I'm with the biggest oomph. And I don't ride where I don't go on safaris and stuff like that. I don't even go on I don't even go on road trips unless I have to. I mean, that's just how this is how I ride. I mean, I look at originally when I got the Sea-Doos, and I would ride like super long distance. If I broke down, man, if you don't have like the tow service and stuff like that, you'll get hit so hard with that. It's not even a comparison in price with like a tow for your car. Especially imagine if it's sunk and you got to get it pulled in, and especially where you're in areas where there's stuff that can eat you. It's terrible. Somebody says he never broke down in his Sea-Doo. there is times the videos were not posted for reasons. I did have issues. I did have once the RXP-X, the coolant line came out. Luckily, I wasn't too far from the boat ramp, but all the coolant shot out, and I had to get it pulled back because the thing would overheat. And that was really aggravating. I was really pissed about that. You had issues multiple times where oil get into the intercooler. That's even running an oil catch can, which was totally mind-boggling. And then being told by the professionals with their advice that you got to run. So you have the dipstick. This is another thing that I think is just totally bonkers with the Sea-Doo 300 engine. So you have the dipstick. You have the bottom, and you got the top. Well, you got to run it right in the middle. For whatever reason, which I guess it makes it the work that best for performance-wise. But then you got to really be paying attention to it because if it drops any lower, you're not going to have a lot of oil in there. Yeah, the time I had the tow service when the prop exploded. Well, I'm not even going to get about that because I get so many stuff being sent to me on a daily thing with that. I don't even want to get into the subject talking about that. Thus why I wouldn't, those kind of things, I'd repitch a stock prop before doing that all day long. But yeah, I don't want to say much because I did I mean, when I sold my Sea-Doo, it worked 100%. I would never sell something to somebody it didn't, but also to the person who bought my Sea-Doo watches the stuff. So I'm showing you, I'd rather show you what everybody else is sending me than what I'm going to just be talking about what happened to me. But I know every time going, like, every time if they're like, I'll just say this, so we make everybody for the feel like the Yamaha's getting attacked on something. Well, it's attack stuff right now, so we feel this is not a one-sided battle. There were things with the Yamaha that drove me crazy. The biggest thing was the handlebars drove me crazy. I didn't like how high they were up. Then you put the Reva ones in there; they're a lot lower. It made me a lot happier with doing that. I didn't like the stock seat cover. I felt the white got really dirty all the time. I couldn't stand it. That was like a big thing. I didn't like how the bumpers were white in the front and back. That was like, it got really dirty, and I cleaned the stuff really good. It drove me crazy. I'm trying to think of some other stuff. I mean, it's like little things. I mean, it's nothing that can't be changed and fixed. There were like little, like, when you see, let's not even get about the CDs with how many people show me cracked hulls, people that I ride with. I remember, well, there's a couple years now, these subscribers came down from, I think it was New York, New Jersey, come ride down here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And they're like, our hulls, this guy, his hull cracked in his RXP-X way in the back from wave jumping because it'd be like, whoop, whoop. And so he's like, oh, hopefully the dealer can fix this in a day. And I'm back of the water. I'm like, what? I'm like, what? So he put like Flex Seal on it, or, you know, that like tape Flex Seal. He put it on the ski. And I'm like, well, if you do that, well, definitely they're not covering any, you're not going to just pull it off and be like, here, let's fix it up. Like, it's just, people don't realize that process, that stuff is, it's not quick with repairing stuff like that. So I thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, you just say that and I'm just like, and then even too, like my RXP-X, when you pop the cover around that surrounding area, we're starting to see over time, seeing cracks coming there. Like similar other stuff that I saw, like how hull cracks would be like on the RXP-X. And then let's not even talk the speed thing. And that was stock to modified. The thing that frustrated me the most, and I've had to just go about it plenty of times. And the problem is like, I don't know, every time I just speak my opinion about the Sea-Doo people, they just don't want to grasp and understand it. And they just go, oh, it's not possible. Not possible. But like, you go out riding intercoastal waterway and the current is super strong, right? So you go one way, the ski will go a certain speed. And you go the other way, ski goes like, I forgot what it was because I haven't had it for a while now. Be like 10 miles per hour, maybe more, stuff like that. And then the temperature would drastically change to what the ski would be running. Be like this. Every time going out there, you didn't know what you're getting into with riding it. And it was the same with the RXT-X and the same with the RXP-X. And that's where basically I got a point, like right before I got the GP, I was just like, I got sick of driving. And it sounds like, I don't like saying this because it sounds kind of silly because there's a lot of the worst problems in the world to be complaining about. But we'll get where I had my issues. I just couldn't stand riding the ski anymore. It was just like if you came alongside somebody, there's fast boats. We got cigarette boats and stuff out here. And you want to have some fun. And you don't want to have it be like all saying, oh, hang on, we got to turn it the opposite way down the river if we want to be moving it. And that's where I was just not a big fan with that, seeing how the close-up cooling just wasn't logical with that. And the people who race those all take all that stuff out. They remove the IBR and all that kind of stuff. And it just got frustrating. But then since I got the Yamaha, goes the same speed one way, goes the same speed back. I got videos showing it on the Jeep, not like the jet ski GPS. I got a Garmin military GPS. It will show proof. I have the videos showing the same with the Sea-Doo, goes this way, that way. Big, huge difference, actually showing how off the stock speedo is on the Sea-Doos. With that, it shows at low speed, the high speed. And I've always been just real happy how reliable it's been. I mean, I was a real shocker with the SXR having the steering cable, but I think it's just been what's so hard with me learning how to ride a stand-up is from having something that was obviously some issue. When I bought it used, I got a decent deal for what I would have to think of what it was. You know, I went states away on my way coming back from the Midwest in November. But, I mean, it was a family that bought it for their kid that was like 11, 12 years old. I mean, something had to happen, I think. I mean, it had, 4 hours when I bought it, but anything could happen in 4 hours, especially new. And because I know past trips when I went to the Midwest in June, there'd be times like you turn and it would just throw me off. Like I'd be like, what the heck? And you could see what it worked up to. And then in my last trip, it just went from being like, you see the videos and it was just like, it's good, just gone. And it finally like went like, there's no more right turn. You know, it was frustrating, but I luckily got a steering cable and Nielsen Enterprise saved my trip. Yeah, then there's also too, I'll read this off. This is just something for people to see who's just to be known too. And this guy sent me this. And I'm not sure how bad his injuries were. And then plus too, I won't say names because I don't know if he's legally going after Sea-Doo because of this and the dealer. And so he had, make a long story short, I think he bought an RXP-X brand new, intake rate dropped, threw him at a decent speed, threw him forward, and I think it broke his collarbone or something. I mean, the guy got really upset, but I'll show you a recent comment. He says, "We'll never buy one again. 40 hours in, intake rate flew off, sent me flying. Now I get a mass air sensor code and can't get rid of it, complete junk." So now he has like a bunch of stuff, and let alone the guy was hurt with it. But I don't know, you just see all this stuff, and people send me this stuff all the time. I'm telling you, realistically, I never get anybody with a Yamaha telling me something big going on. And if I did, I'd love to talk about it because it's not like I'm sitting there. I'm not getting paid by Yamaha. So like if people start sending me GP 1800R craziness that's proof, like videos and pictures, not write-ups, because again, it's like I don't go off of stuff like that. I like to see like physical evidence. And if I see this stuff with it, I'm happy to share it. It's not like I'm not trying to show that stuff. Somebody says Yamaha has recalls also, bro. Where? I don't have had a single recall call to me. Minty goes, hey, are you getting the 2021 Sea-Doo RXP-X 300? Yeah, somebody wants to give it to me for free. I wouldn't spend my money on something like that. I've already found 3. Well, no, I've owned 4 Sea-Doos, and I'm Sea-Doo'd out. If they change designs and stuff, yes. I wouldn't say I would never own one again, but the rate how stuff is going right now, I don't really likely doubt that happening. Sorry, guys. But it's like the same thing when I had my Corvette Z06, like I was saying, the thing was so low to the ground, so you could not go to a dealership because their lifts weren't made for that low of a car. So luckily, I've always had it really nice throughout always the years with car dealerships. When it comes to recalls, they just give me the stuff and I don't have to do it. I mean, I think there was some recall with the Corvette, and at the time I didn't own the GM. I think it's called a Tech 2, like the dealer scanner thing, crazy thing, whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. And they would just give it to me. I wouldn't have to pay money. They'd give it to me for like a day or two for whatever I had to do, give it back. Because when you had to bleed the brakes on those, you had to use their scan tool. It was totally crazy. And that was a 2006 car we're doing that. It's like you had to do all these modes with doing it. It was unbelievable. And I ended up buying one, and then when I sold the car, I sold a scan tool. And I'm like, I don't need this anymore. I'm reading the comments. I'm just looking at everybody it's like Mortal Kombat. Fight. I'll say something, and then somebody I'm out. Somebody goes, fight. It's like the people are like this. They're like, I was watching this podcast. I don't want to get about what I was watching last night. Some crazy stuff. I was like thinking about it after watching, but this is like mind blowing. What's going on? People don't even know about it. Crunch said, "How do people get? Are you getting a C2 RXP-X from the title says broken 2021 C2 RXP-X 300?" But like I said, insurance companies, and that's another thing that people don't want to talk about, which I can state facts because of owning it, I know what they all come out to be. It costs more money for insurance on C2s than they are on Yamaha and Kawasaki's. And I asked my insurance company why that is, and it's because they said because of knowing the issues that they have and that they sink. They charge a lot more. And that's when I got rid of the RXT-X and saw how cheaper my insurance went. And still my RXP-X insurance was a lot more than my GP, right? I was just like, well, this is just crazy right then and there. No, that's like, you see that, I'm just like, I was a total shocker. But like I said, now we don't have to be buying the same stuff. Like, people want to go buy a CDU, go buy a CDU. I guarantee they're still going to sell stuff. I mean, when there's a shortage of jet skis, I mean, they're not all going to be sitting at the dealership. There's just going to be a lot of upset people. And they're all going to go, oh, Beowulf was right. We should have listened to him. We shouldn't listen to those paid people. We shouldn't listen to them. It's what's going to happen. It's what's going to happen. People are going to see it. What's going to happen? I guarantee you. Past videos, give it a couple months. Whenever, well, it's not even every couple months. Whenever the people finally buy those and start putting them on, some hours on, they'll see all this stuff and they go, oh man, I should have saw that video. I should have listened to him. Should have listened to him. That's it. Parrot, you're on. I'm pretty positive the engines. Well, man, I don't want to call that. I thought the engines were built in Mexico because the same plant I think where Sea-Doo's at is where they build the side-by-side engines and stuff like that. Me look at that whole industry. I remember too, like back in 2012, I bought the last year they had the Sea-Doo boats. It was 2012 Sea-Doo Speedster 150 supercharged boat. And then literally the same time when I bought the boat, I put a deposit on the Skidoo. It's been 2013. I think it was because it was the Skidoos are like I think a year ahead of whatever the jet skis are, right? And it was like the brand new, whatever one, the MXZX, whatever it was all new stuff. It had adjustable suspension, crazy stuff, right? Get it. And where I lived in Illinois, I lived right off a snowmobile trail. So I didn't need a trailer. I just needed to get the thing there. If I want to repair it, I plan on doing it myself. So then there was like this huge recall where else we could start on fire. Like they would just start on fire just sitting there. And I remember calling them up. I'm like, well, I need to get this stuff figured out. And they're like, well, you got to get it here. And I'm like, you could stick that on some other trailer to bring it there, but it's better to be on a snowmobile trailer. And I remember just like, it was real difficult to deal with that kind of stuff, like silly stuff. Like it should have been, if it could start on fire, somebody should just come pick it up and take care of it. But yeah. But it was crazy. You live there and it hardly ever snow. And but I know too, like snowmobiles, everybody that I would ride with snowmobiles, they would buy a snowmobile, ride it for a year or two, maybe not even that, and just sell it. They just, because they didn't want to be, nobody wanted to be stranded out in the freezing cold by themselves. And that was so crazy because back when I had the snowmobile, I would go riding, because you could go riding to Wisconsin from where I lived, because I lived so close to the Wisconsin border. So I go cruising late at night, because that's why when I snowmobile, I love riding at night, because you wouldn't see, like it was easier to see like the headlights at night, so that you wouldn't have, where you're riding, you're kind of shocked, like somebody came up on you or vice versa. And some of these times I'm way out there and freezing cold, I'm thinking like, man, if you got stuck out here, we had wolves and mountain lions and stuff like that, let alone the freezing cold, and you're like miles and miles and miles. And the crazy thing is, a lot of people don't realize, is the iPhone freezes really quick. Even if you have it like a good warm pocket, as soon as you take it out, the phone will freeze. Those generation phones back then would freeze really quick. That's why I had to laugh. There was a couple of people on social media sharing the dash, thinking it was an RXP-X. And they had these videos, and this is a heated for your phone. And I said to the person, I'm like, man, that's a Skidoo, brother. Not a RXP-X. And those previous people did delete the videos because they're like, oh, we were stating fake news. Bye-bye. Yeah, but any of those, like with the SVHO, it's really good putting the blow-off valve in there real quick. You got ones like Work Racing sells one, Riva Racing, and they're not impossible. I have a whole video showing how to install them. It's a must if you want to. It's like literally when I pick up my new GP 1800R, I'm not even riding it until I've installed right out the bat the blow-off valve. It's the first thing I'm going to be doing. Just scrolling through some of the comments. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. DJ Heavy Duty, I'm just scrolling back up, sorry. Some of the stuff you start talking and you scroll back up, you got to scope it out. He asked, would you equivalently compare the GP 1800 to RXP-X 300 and FX SVHO to RXT-X 300? Exactly. It's what I've always said from day one. But good comparison. Correct. And I just saw you commented. Yeah. And kind of like my riding, like when I go through the ocean, I like to constantly keep moving from stuff I've seen, you know, the ocean, with sharks and stuff like that. They do like to come check you out. When I'm in the ocean, I like to keep moving at all times possible. Well, there's the other interesting thing, and this is not me stating, this is from when I was talking to people head up with the Coast Guard. And when I was at the New York Boat Show, This is them stating. This isn't me, so you guys can take it, believe whatever they have to say. But the people tell me stuff, and I probably said this in another past live stream. I go, this head up guy with the Coast Guard, and they probably thought it was all cool. You know, I didn't film the stuff. I was just coming up because I found that stuff cool. I think their job is awesome because if I was out on the ocean, I got this distress beacon, I flip it, and they come with a helicopter and they jump in, save my life. I think it's awesome. They do the same thing in big lakes like Great Lakes and stuff. I just appreciate what they do for a job. They, you know, they're protecting the coastal line. They're doing a bunch of stuff, and they're constantly moving around. You're saying they ride the big boats in the intercoastal and stuff like that. And I was talking to a guy, I'm like, well, you know, what's some of the craziest stuff you've seen? So I'm thinking they're talking like what they were telling me crazy was what I thought was going to be. He goes, oh man, we've been constantly chasing by plane and boats orbs under the water. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, man, that's pretty crazy. And he's like, that's all he could say. And I'm thinking, man, this is a little freaking wild. Sometimes just people like to talk. And he was telling me stuff, and I'm just like, this is pretty crazy. And then he told me some other incident that was going on in New York City. And I was like, I don't want to say it because I don't, just because it is pretty, it's like, it's probably ongoing investigation, so I don't want to talk about it. But then they have the New York PD that are with the whole, I don't know what you call it. They're like the boat police. And I asked them about this, and they go, how do you know this classified info? I'm like, well, the Coast Guard is just telling me everything. It is Bill and tell me stories. And they were like, they couldn't believe how I do it. And I'm like, who told you this info? I'm like, well, the Coast Guard is just telling me all these stories. It was kind of funny. Doing the donuts, you want to adjust the trim all the way down. And then, but you got to always be, that's why I like the skis a little bit louder, is I like to hear, I don't always, like, I barely ever look at the dash. I get a sound of what I get put into having the RPMs, and that's kind of where it's basically I go from. Yeah, film Robert. I'm reading. He says, I've been watching you for a long time. Still don't have a ski, but maybe one day. Trying to save up. Thanks for your channel. Keep it up. If you're ever down here in South Florida and need a video photographer, hit me up. Well, definitely. I'm going to be picking up. It's like in a month. Riva Motorsports picking up a 2021 Yamaha Superjet and a 2021 Yamaha GP 1800R SVHL. I'm hopefully picking them both at the same time. So definitely it's going to be, I want to be the first ride is there with the Superjet. So I'm definitely looking for somebody doing filming, photography and stuff like that. Definitely will be an epic first time taking that thing out and seeing what it can do. They asked, what can you compare the GTX Limited 300 from a Yamaha brand? Well, there's a bunch of different FX models. So if you kind of look on their site, you can see which one probably best look more, I don't want to say it's luxury, but kind of that's what you're going. Hey, look, the guy's back. And as soon as he comes, he goes, bye-bye. Brian says, love your channel. Thanks a lot. I just try to keep this stuff real. See, you know, I'm not hitting up these manufacturers telling them to advertise in my website and stuff like that. I just like to keep it real because it's like, you know, to me, I work hard. The one at Palmetto Beach. But I work hard for all the stuff I got from day one. I mean, I've always been hustling for anything I've ever owned. And to me, you know, these jet skis, I mean, a lot of people have to work to purchase them. And I just really don't like to see when somebody spends a lot of money and they have a bad experience with it. And I like to keep it real. And if you're diehard with the brand, I'm sorry, but it's stating facts. And, you know, I have to say that's the kind of one thing I have to be honest. It's kind of sad about selling my GP 1800R because I've had no issues with it whatsoever. And it looks super killer, especially with this new seat. It's going to be on a whole nother level. Basically, we'll call it the Beowulf Edition GP 1800R. And Yeah. It's just, you know, I just want to get the newest stuff coming out. Plus, I think the new GP18R looks cool. But I still think this thing's killer with these ankle mats, like you see in the last video. The thing's on rails, and when you look at like the seats that are on the 300s with the Sea-Doos, these ankle mats are just it's a game changer with that. But the grippy seat, definitely, that's the biggest crucial things with grip. Man, these bugs are really getting my feet out here. Bruce says, appreciate the channel, bro. Bought an RXP-X 300. Love it. Such fun hobby. Cool, man. Appreciate it. Good to see you out on the water and having fun. How about this right now? Let's have everybody, let's state what state you're from. You don't have to say town or what country. And then where you're listening to that, state what jet ski you have. If you don't own a jet ski, list what jet ski you want to get. Roll. Go. Go. Come on. Let's see the comments. Type it up. Let's see it. Let's see it. Parrots that come down to Lake Lanner for a weekend and ride with me. We can hit Pelican Pete's for some drinks and go some racing. I don't know where Lanner Lake is. So we got it. Here we go. Crunchy. Ooh, man. Ooh, it's blowing up. It's blowing up. Let's see it. Come on, look, guys. Let's see it. Let's see it. Let's see it. See, he goes. Crunchy says Kawasaki Ultra LX. Parrot says Georgia. 2016 Yamaha VXR. Elzir says Florida. 2019 GTX. 2012 GTI. Cole said 2014 VZS SVHO in New York State. Owen says Alabama. GTI 155. Greg said, where did Greg say? 09 VZS Jersey. Sean says Georgia. GP 1800. Nolan says Michigan. And I just put a deposit down the new RXP-X 300. Man, let me know how it goes, brother. Devious is Pennsylvania 2019 GP 1800R. Dan asks, was the Link gas worth it or a pain to use? You have used Surcans and they're that can that Link system had is a complete waste of money. What is it like? You can't even, it's 3 gallons. You can't even put full 3 gallons. And that thing was a pain in the butt to take apart and use. It was the biggest waste of money. And just a couple of gallons will not get you back if you run out of fuel. It was expensive and it just really wasn't worth it. If you're planning on going on safaris, I wouldn't be using a 300 Sea-Doo to be doing that kind of stuff. Oh, hang on. Oh, man, I just jumped way too far. Santiana says Florida, Boca Raton. Oh, I don't even know where that is. It sounds warm. 2020 VXHO. Hitman says Toronto, GP 1800R on order. Awesome. No one said sorry for the caps. Just trying to state what you're getting, bro. It's all right. Bruce says Ontario, Canada, RXP-X 300. Michael says Rhode Island 2021 GP 1800R SVHO. Tyrone said, what color GP 1800 are you receiving? I'm getting the blue, black, and white. Is the one I'm getting. I'll give a spoiler alert that if anybody's been waiting for the Riva Racing Edition, it's gonna be black and green is the color combo. I've been holding up, but let's roll the dice. That's what's coming out. But I'm excited. But exactly how the ski is coming, we're gonna change it all. Jet line from Miami. We're giving you guys, well, basically the little taste is what's going on. Here, I'll show you guys. This is kind of going to be the lower ski idea for what it'll be on. I don't know if the colors will be the same, what's going on in the new GP, because everything's matching, but it's going to all be different because everything up top is different. And yeah, that that logo below there is just on fire. It's on a whole nother level. I can't believe what, like, and they didn't even spend that much time on that, and it just turned out to be one of a kind. Paris said in Gainesville, Georgia. Richard says 2019 RXP-X 300 Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Cool, man. Local. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We got the. Oh man, I forgot. I gotta watch. I'm watching Crocodile Dundee, and I'm gonna get down this like Australian accent. So all the time, all these cool Australian people tune in. I'll be like sounding like Gadet. I think that's what it is. I'll have to check it out. The best part is that when I remember as a kid watching Crocodile Dundee, he goes, "That's enough." I remember as a kid, I thought that was like the coolest thing ever. But he says, Melbourne, Australia, thinking of picking up a 2019 RXP-X. I know that Australia, I think it was somebody just recently commented, the currency exchange difference is prices are different. The same I know in Norway. It's unbelievable how over stuff costs. I remember when I was a kid and my first time going to Europe, and I have relatives in Norway, and we had Coca-Cola, which we don't, when I was a kid, I don't really think that stuff I would drink all the time. But they made it like this. It was a big deal because it was super expensive. Like McDonald's, but this is back in the early 90s. McDonald's was like really expensive in Europe to what it is here. Like it was more of like a luxury place to go eat than like here. It's kind of like, I don't really compare like what people, I mean, I eat McDonald's once in a while myself. So I really don't want to be knocking something like that. But anyways, just kidding about that. Dan says, Pittsburgh, PA, 2019 GP $1,800 and a 2017 Kawasaki Ultra. I was trying to hook up riding with Dan when he was down here in Myrtle Beach, and it just didn't happen. I think when he came down, it was all the flooding. I will just say JS because I said just submit. Said Arizona 2019 GTX. Charles says Georgia GTX 230 2019. Patrick says New Jersey. I have a 2019 FX Cruiser SVHO. So we got Chris Caress says GTR 215 2016 Illinois. It's Illinois, but it's so funny because everybody who's out of state, they don't know, like people live in Illinois say Illinois, and everybody from not Illinois goes Illinois. Pronounce it wrong. It's funny. 29 or sorry, Cadence says 2016 FX SVHO New Jersey Shore. Ryan says Ontario, Canada. Have a 2018 Sea-Doo GTI 130 family ski though. Looking at buying a 2017 VXR from a friend. Awesome, man. Got to take care of the family. If you got the family, you got to make sure you're making all your family happy because you don't want to be stuck. We got to buy a pontoon or something. You know what I'm saying? Right? Shoot, man. I just like scrolled and we just jumped. Does this? Oh, man. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. Sorry. Nolan said, would you recommend the RXP-X 300? No, brother. Sorry. No way, Jose. Tyrone says, Cayman Islands, applaud, man. I was supposed to go back to the Cayman Islands. My family, we have a condo on 7 Mile Beach. And with this whole COVID thing, they went down and we didn't. My brother and myself, because that's when South Carolina blew up. And because when they were, I think right now, I don't know if it's the same. People don't realize that you can't, I don't think, maybe it's changed to the Cayman Islands, but they wouldn't allow any flights. Nobody could come or leave the island and stuff like that to keep the cases down. But we like bailed like literally the night before going, so oh, we're not going. It was too bad. And it's stuff like that sad. You can't go down there. It's awesome. Awesome place to ride. Awesome riding jet skis. I'm definitely next time out there, I want to get some more like cooler stuff to ride, but it's definitely cool, man. It's like cool when you're jet skiing, you can see underwater and you can see the sea turtles and you can see the stingrays and stuff. Like awesome place. Cayman Islands I've been going there since I was a young kid, and it's crazy every time going there how the island's changed. Really cool place. Lich said Delaware. Paris says Baywell jumping off the night. I have an awesome night, brother. Yeah, I just got some energy. I was a little sleepy and I come on here, man. I got the energy going. Which, but I ride at Chesapeake City, Maryland with a GP 1800R SVHO. Ethan says, "Sup, Beowulf? I'm back. What's going on, brother?" Bruce says, "You ever get to the Toronto Boat Show in the new year?" Nope. I don't even think you can't even fly to. I don't even think you can fly to Canada right now. There's some people I want to have visit me from Canada, and they told me they couldn't fly flights or whatever. Charles says 2020 Fish Pro 170 and the speakers rattle a lot. It's terrible. That's what I'm saying. Like I literally, it's a crazy thing. So I was the first person on YouTube to install the speakers on the RXP-X, which works in the Fish Pro and all those skis that share that. And when I installed it, I had no shop manual, no photos. I figured out how the whole thing came apart and put it together. No manual at all. Did a whole video, which if I took back, should have filmed a little bit better. But I think it's about 60,000 views, or nearly close to there. And the speakers weren't cheap. At the end of owning it, I was at a point of just ripping them out and selling them. And the hard thing, the reason why I didn't do that, I couldn't get them out. I tried multiple times trying to get the speakers out. I could not get them out. They were stuck in there and rattling. And I was like frustrated because I could have got a fair amount of money for selling those speakers and I couldn't get them out. I was like, I'll break them if I try getting them out. It was one of those things like it sounded cool. And that's why I went the pre-order I did on the new GP 1800R. I did not get it with the speakers. I got a whole sound system, my Jeep SRT, really nice with the subwoofer and all that. I barely even like, I don't drive around with the music blasting and stuff like that. So I like to keep my ears. I don't want to be like, that's probably one of the best advice my grandpa told me is, said he didn't wish he listened to so much loud stuff because he said by he got his age, he said his hearing's gone. He said he wished he never did it. So I kind of like to listen to his advice about that. I don't want to be like, huh? And I'm already like that sometimes. I'm like, the last video, I'm like, because he had the helmet, I couldn't hear stuff. And I'm like, what? Because when you're in the skis or running, what the hard thing is the GoPro doesn't see how loud it is. I'm like, what'd you say? What'd you say? What'd you say? It's like, you literally have to have the skis off to be talking. Greg said, Chesapeake. Fix the camera. Probably not. Really good lighting in here, though. Greg's at Chesapeake City, MD. Whoop, whoop. Sean said, sweet. This is the best place to ride around there. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Montos at California 29. Sorry. California. I can't speak. California 2018 FX Cruiser SBHO. I didn't bring a water out here with me. I had some waters in there, and then I remember I rode because when I got back from the trip, and I took them all, and I'm realizing I don't have water drinking here. I'm going to go inside the house to get it. Santos, a friend of mine, made a mistake and put 85 octane gas on his Yamaha VX jet ski stop in the middle of the ocean. So could he use 93 ethanol free? I think he meant E85. Somebody else says, did he mean E85? I don't put the E85. I saw somebody sharing me something where somebody's talking about putting E85 in a jet ski. Unless it's set up for it, don't put sticking that stuff in there. I think that new, well, it's not new. It has 181,000 miles. We'll call it the calling in dispatch. We need Beowulf. Can Beowulf roll up in the Crown Vic? It has a flex fuel where you can run E85. I don't think there's any E85 you can buy around here. South Carolina is like E85 free zone. I remember there was some car meet I went to, and there was some guy that moved from I don't know where, and he had a Hellcat Charger all set up to run on E85, and he's driving around with the whole vehicle full of gas chugs. And I just thought it looked so silly because he had to buy it and ship it in. And I'm thinking, like, wouldn't you change it back? Because you can't buy fuel for that. And it's like, how safe is it driving around on anything with a bunch of fuel jugs, especially inside a car? The same as on the jet ski. Somebody hits you from behind, and what happens is, like Fifth Element, she goes, big bada boom. And especially in the car, what happens? Big bada boom. The Barat Giraffe 93 Kawasaki X2. That's cool, man. I like to see some people with this vintage stuff. See, I'm scrolling up. It gets like, man, why does it do this? So I like to be in my big computer. I hate this. I hate this little laptop sometimes. Drives me bonkers. I should bring the mouse out here so it makes life easier. It's crazy. So I got this stand. I got this huge AFE exhaust box, and it's like the exact height I want it to be. So I have this like box in my garage. It's like for the. It's perfect for filming in here. I think it moves a little bit because I'm like putting my weight on it. I see. And this is California with the X2. Yeah, E85. That's not a smart thing. Greg, this is a good question. Probably a good question of the night. So, he asked, "What's the risk of doing a tune on a new GP 1800? Any risk in reliability?" Well, I personally think, and this is my opinion from experience, if you can put in a tune on your ski, and I think I've done a whole video about this, pretty positive. And I'd have to say, Riva Racing is the one to go with, because the reason why is they're a big company. There's a lot of people doing tunes that maybe they're just on Instagram. They don't have a website. They probably don't even have insurance with their business. So let's just say worst case scenario, something happened and you had to pursue legal stuff. You actually it wouldn't be an intelligent thing to do. Purchase through somebody like that. But again, you can buy wherever you want. But the difference is Riva Racing sells a lot more, and they have stuff where it's more reliability of the ski not breaking from running it. Any chances, the more stuff you do in the higher stages could, like anything, make stuff go bad. I've had plenty of racing in my racing career where just the engine goes and you're in the middle of the race, and the race is starting, and you're like, what the heck? And a lot of racing, when I did road racing, a lot of stuff, they have like restrictor plates. Like when I raced the Viper Comp Coupe, you had all these restrictor plates. You could do mods, but then it's like you put all this stuff on bolt-ons, and then you have restrictor plates. It's like defeating why you even did any of that stuff, but you're doing it just to have any type of upper edge. But yeah, you even have stuff go wrong with that. So, but again, you're talking a vehicle like that, the engine's super expensive, race car and stuff like that. It's crazy. But no, their stage one kit, perfectly fine. And a nice thing too is if you don't want it, you can reflash it back to stock, and it's not there. And then if you have a group of friends, you can buy the map tuner programmer, and then everybody buys a license. Like for example, I just got a license for the Kawasaki. Then I'm doing a reflash on the SXR 1500. So I don't have to buy a new programmer. I just load the license in, so it's not as expensive with the initial purchase when you're buying all that stuff. The same as once I get the new GP, I had the programmer, but I need to buy another license. But then like somebody who buys this, because I've had a couple of people and they're interested in this, they're like, how fast is it? And I've never wanted a ski to be like a record breaker on speeds. And I tell people, and they're like, oh, I want one faster. Oh, it's not fast enough for me. Like they're some expert. And I'm like, dude, it has a license. You do whatever you want to it and make it faster. The license there. You just need the program to plug into it, and it has a license where it's unlocked doing it. So you can make this thing as fast as you want it to go. It's already ready. But it's hard. Some people don't understand the whole how this stuff works. So, just what it is. The Barab California with the X2. Calls to the tunes with the SVHO are very reliable. Country said, let's try it again. 2020 Kawasaki Ultra LX. Queensland, Australia. Bruce says, just curious why I don't like the RXP-X 300. Man, we've been at an hour and 24 minutes, and we're not going to rehash everything. Rewatch the live stream. Rewatch the live stream. Sean said, this is the live stream is where it's at. Laugh out loud. The truth comes out. Laugh out loud. Charles says, C2 says that engineers are fuel efficient and they just make the tank bigger. I saw some video they did, and they're like saying how they're like, the 300 engine is a fuel efficient engine. Man, I had all their superchargers, even with the boat. The thing had crappy gas mileage, the same as all the supercharged Sea-Doos I had. They're just terrible. And that's what they did with the 2020 RXP-X. They're like, oh, you got better gas mileage. We put the Fish Pro gas tank in there. That is not fixing the issues. It's constant, like, they do stuff instead of admitting and fixing the issues, they come out with something else to like just trick you guys. And some people are just that. Like they go, oh, the carbon seal's fixed, and people are like, oh yeah, it's fixed. Oh, okay. Don't trust that stuff, seriously. But if you want to roll the dice, spend your money, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's stopping you. We all can be different. Junior said, how many hour drive to Lake Geneva? From my parents lived in Illinois, it was like an hour and 20 minutes. But sometimes it was pretty fast. You take like the highways out there. That's one thing I miss with the Midwest, man. They have like 8-lane highways or whatever. It was just insane. It was just like, you just move really quick, far distance. Here's a good question. Which asks how big of a difference between the GP stock spines and the Reva? Huge, because they're like huge in difference and they're adjustable. I like all the stuff as low as it can go. It's just how I like it. And it'd actually be where you're going so fast, where you're like, I'm gonna fall off the seat. That's why, like I say, it's crucial getting a grippy jet trim seat, and it pushes you as hard as you want, but definitely be careful because you don't want the ski go flying. You go flying in the shore, flying to somebody else. Oh man, that was a moth. A little bug. Man, I felt like whoop. Yeah, Ethan, here's a good thing. Ethan says, I never knew you had a second channel until earlier. Yeah, it's Beowulf Nation. Check it out. It only has 104 subscribers. Let's get that thing moving, guys. Please hit that subscribe button to that channel. I want to do more videos, but there's like, it's not getting views or anything, and there's no subscribers. It's not on my radar to be like, let's make a video. It's going to be like everything non-jet ski related. I want to do a bunch of like dog videos, car videos on there, kind of like everything that's non-jet ski related, what I'm doing on that channel. So if it's like traveling, just to kind of give you guys where it's something different. But us, I want to do one live stream where we just all debated about the new Xbox, the new PlayStation 5, because I just think it would be just fun to have, if you're not even here, we could just like argue about something completely different, which would be fun because I want to hear people's opinions about that. I know a little bit about it. I'm not going to say I'm some giant game nerd, but I do play my games, and I know I'm pretty good. Get flustered in that Warzone, man. I tell you, every team I'm with, people are like, they're running, man. They're cowards. I stand my ground. And I got people who are going to get my back, and they're turning around, running the other way. And I'm like, stand your ground. I don't have the headset anymore because I'd be like freaking out. I'd be like, stand your ground, soldier. Go running away. Stand your ground. It's like I'm King Leonidas, be like, this is Sparta. Helps that I subbed to your second channel and have been since February. Thanks a lot, man. I just posted some recent video where I put the roof rack and the Jeep SRT, and it's like crazy because there's a load that it doesn't even have tracks, and it worked out pretty cool. I got this big Thule Swedish cargo thing, and I just left it on because I'm like, this just looks crazy. Who's driving around Jeep SRT with a big old giant cargo thing in the top? It's kind of funny. Richard said with the RXP-X, could you in a stage shirt without the prop? You can just repitch the stock prop, and actually the pitch is pretty close when I checked it. the stock prop is pretty close to the pitch angle of what the Solus prop is. I wouldn't put the Solus prop, but do whatever you want. You've seen the videos. That's all I have to say. Legit on the Mac Tuner, can you put in a custom numbers for the RPM? I don't mess. I think you need to have some other stuff to do that. I just put load in whatever's been done. They've done all their testing. They let somebody else be the guinea pig. I don't want to be the guinea pig. I don't want to have something blow because of that. I know in the past we did stuff with like we had like an STI that had a bunch of issues from messing around with stuff that should have just been redone instead of trying to tool around with something. And I can tell you, I know way in the past from experience, I don't mess with that. If it's a preload tune, that's what you run. Let's see. But let's ask here, if you really want to, could you run the tuner rev this ski to 9,500? Well, like any of that stuff, you got to do tons of upgrades. You cannot be stock doing stuff like that. There's tons of stuff you have to upgrade. Look at all this stuff. Basically, you go on Riva Racing site. They got the stage kits. You can do it all up. You don't have to buy to run that tune with that, which you got to check. If you go under their archives on rivaracing.com, we'll give them a little shout out. You go under their libraries and you can show what each kit, and there's a lot of different tunes that they don't show that's on their stage kits. And it shows, like, I think even with the RXP-X and RXT-X for their stage 2, there's like, I think 2 or 3 different tunes that all require the same parts. But if you check that out, it breaks it down. Mark says, what jet ski anchor do you use and recommend? There's one that's on my Amazon store. Type that in. Amazon.com/shop/IamBeowulf. And then you can check out, well, that's where you can find all that cool stuff on there. And then the Beowulf merge. That's this. But then on the merch or on the Amazon store, you'll see a different foldable anchors. There's one like, check it out right here. It's all in this bag. I don't want to fold it out. But then there's a future video coming soon of one that Jet Tribe sent me, and you put like rocks and sand in it, and it worked out pretty good. They've been asking me to do a video, and I'm like, I don't mess around anchoring stuff where I live because I'm not getting out to go to shore to check around and see if there's a gator there or a shark and stuff. So I just did a ride yesterday, and there's this little gator popping his head up real quick, popping down, and I'm like, I'm back home, man. I'm no longer in the Midwest. No longer in the Midwest. You got to be careful now. The stage 1 kit for the GP is like playing it up for most people. I mean, it again too, if you live in like you watched that video when I was at Lake Geneva, they had on the weekend, speed limit 35, man. You can't even reach with a stock ski. You can do stock. So like, what's the point of doing anything up to a ski like that? If you have a place where there's a speed limit, I wouldn't waste any of your money doing up your ski because you're already breaking a lot, but just do whatever you want makes you happy. All right, so we're at 1 hour and 30 minutes. My puppies are probably wondering what the heck's going on. I'm thirsty. It's 10:30, but I'm glad everybody came along. And enjoy the video. Make sure you hit the like button. I appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, and hit the subscribe button. Hey, yo, what up, Boo Wolf? What's going on, brother? Oh, man, but it's good. I like doing these live streams. They're tons of fun. I look forward to these. I get real excited about these. Sometimes I get in this and I'm gonna get a little sleepy and stuff before doing them. And I'm like, I get in this and I'm all good. And the other thing too, look at this. My shirt's all dry. I'm not sweaty. My shirt's dry and I'm out in the humidity. I don't do live streams where like I look like I did a marathon. I jump off screen, I come back. I'm like, I'm a sweaty mess. Oh man, give me a new shirt. Yeah, it's 10:28 p.m. is my time. Yeah, it's hard if you think you're gonna be competing against a fast boat. Man, it's a whole nother battle, man. They got so much power on tap. But then think how much money though when they're out running that stuff. Think how much money they're spending on fuel. It's probably like just unbelievable. Because I know people in the water, they got $1 million boat. Man, if I had $1 million, I would not spend it on a boat. I don't know what I would spend it on. Yeah, buy an island, but I wouldn't spend it on a boat. It's a real, and to keep it in the water all the time too, it's like a real risky thing. But hey, you got the money, do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. You only live once. Sean said, later, Beowulf. All right, so this is kind of close out, but like I said, check out the Amazon store, amazon.com/shop/I'm Beowulf. Check out the I'm Beowulf word. I'm speaking too fast. I'm Beowulf merch at IamBeowulf.com. Be journal one, be safe out there. And always remember, when you go out there, head be like a pivot when you're riding the jet ski. You never know what pops out of nowhere, you know? But thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. There's going to be a whole nother upload. Also, too, there's a video I uploaded hours ago. Check that out. It's a killer ride video with subscribers. They're on RXP-X's, and it's just cool. I was like totally excited. What's the luck? I'm in this giant lake, and people knew who I am there, and it was like fun. They were just super stoked. And I like seeing that. It's interesting. There were a lot of people standing at shore, knew when I was there and stuff. It was fun. It's fun doing stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. And peace out, Beowulf Nation.